Ooh, guys, as you guys may not know, the Pikachu Illustrator sold at 16 mil, 16 and a half. That's insane. And the Charizard sold at almost a milli, right? 950. Wow, guys, the Pokemon cards is kinda insane at the moment. So everything, if you notice, everything's kinda, I would say, price of cards is starting to stack up, and it's very competitive now. From Yu-Gi-Oh to Dragon Ball to One Piece to Pokemon. I I have I actually don't know because I did not expect all corners of the market, almost all corners of the TCGs as pretty much getting backed into the corner, right? So I want to make this video and give my thoughts about it and the Pikachu Illustrator. So as you know, Ken Golden, they auctioned this card, and bravo, kudos to those guys, because man, if you guys did not watch the box break or the auction live, wow, what a way to entertain the newcomers and the new people who want to get into the hobby. What a way to hype it up, because I was watching the whole time, maybe like I would say from 10 million, 9 million, sorry, when the bid was at 9 million, and then all the way to the end. It was insane because people were. I honestly thought this card would get stuck at 10 mil, maybe 9 or 10 mil. But as soon as it hit 12, 13, 15, 16, then I kind of started to realize, wow, there are really there are there are really people who have deep pockets in this hobby, because right now that's the world record, right? Guinness World Record for the most expensive trading card sold at auction as well, and the most expensive card that's literally been sold at 16.4 mil, and which is Pokemon. Pokemon's IP is pretty much uh it's hard to scale Pokemon at this point because it's basic. If you guys are not aware, Pokemon is literally the biggest franchise in the world, above Disney, above almost if I'm not mistaken, everything. It is literally the craziest franchise right now, which is why a lot of people are putting their pockets into Pokemon, which is good and bad. So right now, vintage cards are gonna be much more sought after, as everyone knows that Pokemon's 30th anniversary is starting to come up, and yeah, Pikachu Sky Pikachu cards are gonna skyrocket, guys. Literally, for example, you could even talk about this, right? Let me just put this on my display. Just this, okay? This Shibuya Pikachu, right? It's not crazy rare, but it's literally a Pikachu card. So sooner or later, Pikachu cards are just gonna skyrocket almost everything. This Pikachu card means a lot to me because I actually went to the actual Shibuya Pokemon Center in its debut. So I was there when they released these cards for the people who came. They would release and give it out to the people who came to visit the Pokemon Center. I remember I had two of this. I remember I bought the Nintendo Switch, Diamond and Pearl, if I'm not mistaken. Diamond and Pearl? Yes, and then Diamond and Pearl. Or was it Sword and Shield? Diamond Pearl or Sword and Shield at that time. I bought this game, and then they gave us this card, two of it, me and my wife, and I had no how can I say? I had no card case, no deck box, so I just stored it in the Nintendo Switch case. So it was pretty funny. But that's the reason why I stored this here for memories. But man, Pikachu cards are starting to, I would say, take literally a big jump right now since this illustrator sold. It's also in Japan Yahoo News. So people who do not know, for example, all the rare items for vintage Pikachu, pretty much keep keep your cards, guys. Keep your vintage cards, keep your scarce cards, because uh, money right now, yes, money comes and goes, right? But in reality, when you look at this in this perspective, money is literally like temporary, right? They print money, but these cards are limited. Okay, vintage cards are limited. All these things that you see, valuable stuff, they're all limited, but money gets printed daily. So people are starting to figure out that money loses its value, so they put their money into things that are what a little bit more limited, scarce, a little bit more, I would say, it can be backed up, right? Some people put in gold, some people put in silver. I'm not a financial advisor, but for example, people who try to give financial stuff in YouTube, I'm not in that position. But from what I can see is people now are trying to find ways to kind of preserve their value of their money, right? They put into art, they put it into, let's say, vintage cars, they put into land, real estate. And now people are putting it into cards, because I talked about this before. When we collect collectibles, right? People sell shoes. You cannot hoard shoes like crazy in your room. But, for example, we have these cards, these trading cards that we hold, right? Blue Eyes, Digimon cards, Dragon Ball, and Pokemon cards. Literally, right? You, for example, even like these, right? You have the Final Fantasy cards. I literally collect a lot of cards, guys. You guys have no idea. I collect Kingdom Heart cards. I collect sealed OCG exclusives. I collect graded. I collect graded Lugias. I collect One Piece. My favorite character is Mihawk. I literally collect even Dragon Ball, right? I collect Dragon Ball, and I collect some Yu-Gi-Oh. I collect a lot of cards, so I collect what I like, because at the same time, what I like is what if it stays here with me, I'm happy. But if you're a person that tries to join for the hobby, it's pretty much, if you want to join for the hobby just for the money, you're gonna have a pretty hard time unless you enjoy the actual things that you collect. So not many people can keep up with the card collecting, so choose a niche. Some people like Yu-Gi-Oh, some people like Digimon. Find things that you like and that you are okay to stick with, even if you don't sell it. And for the Pokemon Illustrator, it's a grail card in the hobby. You can collect One Piece, you can collect Dragon Ball, and collect your favorite characters, collect what you feel like it's valuable to you, whether it's prize cards, serialized cards, rare cards, god rare mangas, event cards, promotional cards, literally even cards that even just has meaning, just like as I show you the Pikachu, things that you feel like you don't want to let go because it holds so much memories. Hold on to those cards, and maybe one day you'll be able to profit off it when you need it, right? But at the same time, we're here for the collective mindset, which is we enjoy the hobby to collect, meet new people, friends, uh, trade with people. You know, we're kind of like kids, right? We show each other stuff for cards. Oh, my card is better than your card. Oh, your card is this, that. We kind of, we kind of, how can I say? We kind of create an art with our taste of collecting, right? Whether you're collecting a binder, graded cards, you're collecting maybe maybe you can say mixture of One Piece with, let's say, Pokemon, Dragon Ball with Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh with Pokemon. You can collect Charizard with Blue Eyes in the same page and make it like a maybe childhood binder. You can collect like a Zoro card and a Vegeta card and make it like a dynamic dual card, right? You can create your own taste. Maybe you can put, let's say, you can put all grass type Pokemons together with maybe, how can I say, some Digimon that are also plant types. So the hobby of collecting an art is basically endless because everyone has different taste. And the Pikachu Illustrator kind of set the tone right now for Pokemon. Again, I'm not sure if it's gonna reset or even get more crazier because of the amount that it's sold for. And not many people know, even the Blastoise, Logan Paul's Blastoise, 100 plus K, and the Venusaur, I think, if I'm not mistaken, also sold at auction. Literally, guys, it was crazy. I cannot imagine the energy in that room because literally that was history that went live. And you hate Logan Paul, you like him, you dislike him, you envy him. You gotta give his respect to this guy because this guy, I ain't gonna lie, he literally put like card card map to like literally he made it literally like viral. And all the people who hate him, you guys can't hate him. You guys weren't even here when he started collecting. So you can't really blame people for hating him because he has the money and he has deep pockets to throw into the hobby, and there are some people that wish that they could afford the cars that they do. But man, literally guys, history was made. And what are you guys' thoughts? Because right now I feel One Piece, also as well Dragon Ball, is pretty, I would say, interesting at the moment, right? You have all these One Piece cards that are gonna release soon in Japan, OP15, and you guys saw the new NL card, right? The new manga NL. Yeah, Skypiea all over again, guys. NL cards are pretty. Maybe we'll start to move again, and I ain't gonna lie, One Piece. I'm keeping up with One Piece. I'm watching the anime at the moment, and yeah, it's even Dragon Ball with its new upcoming arcs and remakes. Right now, it's good to be a card collector right now. And for anyone who collects cards, I hope you guys collect for the enjoyment of it and not to stress yourself out with following the trend and the hype. But right now, time. One thing about card collecting, one thing about history in itself, right? People don't realize that collecting cards has been around for a long time. There are ups and downs and waves, right, in collecting. But one thing that does not how can I put this? Oh, what is the most simple way I can put this? When things literally in the hobby goes up and down, history will repeat itself. Not exactly repeat itself. So history doesn't really repeat itself. History rhymes with itself. Sometimes it rhymes to go better, to go up, follow that good tune. Guess what? Soon maybe a tune will hit and cards go boom, the market goes insane, or it could dip. So it's unpredictable, right? But right now, Pokemon is literally the strongest IP at the moment. Then Dragon Ball, One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a great time to get into what you love, guys, and don't try to waste and burn crazy money just because you see Pikachu cards go crazy. But same time, anything vintage right now, I also believe it's just gonna go up even more because it's literally what holds the most stable price and doesn't really decrease in terms of uh, value, right? Because many cars that sold for modern cars, they took like 30, 50, 80% dip, but some vintage cars are able to hold its price and value, especially these promotion cards, exclusive cards, Japanese exclusive. And yeah, so again, the Pokemon Illustrator, 16.4 million, guys. Insane. I the pop for that card is literally, it's, you cannot compare because it's a one of one, right? Many people can be attacking, it's not, it doesn't deserve to be a PSA 10, is this and that, but in reality it's a 10. We live in an era, guys, that I talked about in my last video, that we live in an era where there are weak 10s and strong 10s, but it's a 10. So all the people who likes to bash grading cards about 10s this, black labels this and that, all the black labels go crazy, and right now look at the Pikachu Illustrator under PSA is the most sold item, right? Because of its 10. So yeah, guys, 16.4 mil, almost a milli Charizard. Yeah, the hobby is gonna go wild, and I hope you guys enjoy. Watch the auction and the box break, and you'll be amazed at the energy that they put to kind of promote this hobby even more crazy. Maybe even bring it to new heights. Maybe to make other collect people eager to join. But it's gonna be dangerous, guys, because we're gonna have literally new fishes that enter the ocean with all the collectors now. We have some heavy deep pocket sharks who are willing to buy up and basically corner the hobby. So try not to follow the trend of modern push hype cards, because there are many modern cards right now I see in One Piece and in Pokemon that was heavily pushed and now it's dropping, right? So, and one thing that I want to make clear is Japanese cards, Japanese and English cards. So as I repeated, OP15 is about to release soon, and for English it's gonna get reprinted later. So all these people who talk about that Japanese cards are undervalued, or it doesn't compare to English value. In reality, Japanese cards are basically undervalued and English are overvalued. Because the fact is, when you put an English and a Japanese card side by side in one piece, the English is much more refined. If you even look closely, look, people say it's both printed in Japan, but when you look at it more closely, you'll see the gloss. Japanese cards are still much more different than English. Not as crazy as Pokemon, but you'll see even a slight difference in Japanese and English. So Japanese cards are just cheaper because it's sold through yen, guys. Okay, so people don't realize that Japanese cards are we're we are in it for me. I believe we're in it for the artwork. We're in it for the, I would say, we're in it for basically we love the cards not because of the language, but because of the artwork and what the card and the story it tells, right? Not because it's English, I can read it. It doesn't really matter, because in the end, when you, for example, when you look at a Dragon Ball card, right? When you see like this, you see a Dragon Ball card in English, you will see all the text. Look at that, it covers all over the words, right? When you see Japanese, it the words are pretty much almost, I would say, not transparent, but the art can literally prioritize more than the language itself compared to English, where the text just bothers you, right? So people kind of not diminish, but people overlook Japanese cards because they can't understand it. But hey, if you can understand it, it means you're focused a lot on the artwork, and that's what matters. If you have to understand it, unless you're a player, then you have to understand, because in competition, right, you can play Japanese and English like tournament, right? But if you're in it for the collecting side, in the actual reality value side, because Japanese cards are older, until global release prints starts already, until Bandai makes a universal global release for One Piece cards, OP whatever 16 and below will forever be what the first prints of One Piece cards, and that's already been written in stone, etched in history, that One Piece Japanese are literally older and are the first prints. Just like how you look at all these sample cards, right? You look at the sample cards because they are the sample first prints. It's not because we're able to print it. No, because people realize that the sample cards are what, or how can I say, are literally like the first test cards, right? And people look at it like it's an error card or all this kind of stuff, but in reality, people care about what are what comes first. There's that saying, right? If you're not first, you're last. Simple. And yeah, Japanese cars are basically overlooked because people undervalue them because they think just because it's sold in cheaper, just because it's sold in yen, it's more cheaper. Hey, guys, now's the time to buy them while no one even knows about this. While no one even knows about what actually prints first, you guys got to know. Japanese cars prints first, and then months later, English prints first. Until then, English cannot say nothing about this. We are, there are, what do you call it? Pre-errata, correction words, all this type of stuff, all this nonsense. But in reality, all of those are just all what Japanese reprints. They're just translated, guys. Simple. Artwork's the same, meta's the same, literally, guys. So don't get fooled by this crazy people who believe like only resellers would actually try to hype this up. But collectors, they're a little bit more quiet and a little bit they don't want people to know so that they can get their hands on it first. But I wanted to share with this information with you guys because there's a stigma going on that Japanese cards. A lot of people are starting to say that Japanese cards are, how can I say, are not valueless or not less sought after, but it's just because there's a stigma that it's cheaper. Yes, it's cheaper just because it's earned through yen. But guess what? If US dollar was in Japan, everybody would put their hands on Japanese cars. But they don't because we run by yen here, right? People here in Japan have to afford the cars themselves because if we put it priced in a US dollar, not many Japanese players and people can have the pockets to afford, for example, even that Bubble Zoro. And yeah, that's my rant today, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I would like to hear you guys' opinions. And if you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe, and I hope to I hope everyone can kind of collect with your own how can I say, intention to not try to manipulate crazy, I would say, hype just because you see the Pikachu Illustrator sold, but collect what you like. Collect Digimon if you want to, collect Dragon Ball if you want to. Don't go crazy just because you see a card game go hype or go insane value just because you see big cards being sold. So collect what you feel like you want to collect. Collect Bleach, collect Union Arena cards, collect anything, right? That you like. You don't have to collect Pokemon just because Pokemon is crazy right now. But if you do collect Pokemon, collect Japanese. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye, guys. Peace out. Peace.